Okay, hello everyone. This is CorelDRAW and how I create alphas using vector files. Alright, I work with an RGB color palette, and basically what I do is I go through and create a custom grayscale image. You'll see that it's just a few clicks and you're able to create some pretty nice details there. Actually, I might reverse that. Very cool. Doesn't take much, you're literally just picking off your grayscale palette here. I want these letters to come up and not look like they're pierced in. So I am just remember that white displaces 100%. There we go. So like you want the shield to look like it's sitting on top of this. So if you put this more towards the black spectrum, it's going to look deeper in the picture. So ZBrush will pick up on it as a lower piece of geometry. Its extrusion will come out lower. So alright, we're getting there. Some other little leaves to do. Not what I wanted there. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Alright, the only thing that's left is create a new layer. We're going to call it square. And use our rectangle tool here, holding control to constrain it to a square. Put it on 100% black with no outline. And I'm going to drag this layer underneath that layer so that we can see it. Make that layer active. Pick tool. Oop. Center it a little bit. There we go. Alright, so there's our alpha created very quickly inside of our vector program. Now you can get logos and you can get quite a few things as .eps files on the internet, which is basically a universal vector file that can be opened up inside of Illustrator or CorelDRAW. CorelDRAW is just the cheaper choice. We don't really need the robust Adobe programs. Not that CorelDRAW is not robust, but for what we're doing, it's pretty basic. We don't need all of that. So I like Corel. I'm going to export this as a picture. So basically what we're doing here is taking a picture of that vector file we just made. So we're converting it from lines and arcs to pixels. I'm going to call this demo family crest. Export that. And I'm going to make this a pretty large photo. We'll go 10,000 by 10,000 pixels. Maintaining it, we want to make sure it's square. We want to keep it on an 8-bit grayscale. And all this other stuff's not really relevant. I don't like transparent background to be checked. Alright, so we'll go minimize this. Let's go into Photo Paint. This is basically Photoshop, but Corel's version of it. Grab that family crest. There we go. Zoom in on a border, you'll see vectors are very nice because you get very little pixelation between black to gray here. So the transition from background to foreground is pretty smooth. But we can even compact more pixels into the edges by using a Gaussian blur. I'm going to throw about a 4-pixel Gaussian blur inside this picture. It's going to take it a second to process because of how large this image is. And that's pretty much it. We're done inside of Corel Paint here. That's all we really needed it for. And we're just going to now export it as a PSD file, which is a native Adobe Photoshop. If we imported Adobe Photoshop.psd extension inside of ZBrush, it's recognized automatically as an alpha. So we'll just call this demo family crest, export that, and we're ready for ZBrush. Alright. Now what we want to do inside a ZBrush is, just create that extrusion off that alpha. So we're going to make some watertight 3D geometry pretty quickly and pretty easily. Polyplane macro right off the bat, alpha, import the alpha. Then what we're going to do is we're going to store morph target. Then we're going to mask by alpha. It's going to be turned a little bit, holding shift to constrain it, get it centered up. I'm going to offset this in the Z axis, I don't know, maybe like -6. Zoom in on that. You can see that's decent detail. The eagle came up. You can see different ribs going on inside of the leaves. Now that I see this, I may have changed that up a little bit. I could actually get some better effects here, but the helmet is sitting on top of the shield. Maybe a little bit more blur to smooth these edges up. That's the first time I did this one, so alright, what we want to do now is create a difference. Alright, get out of edit mode, Control N to clear the screen, and let's look at our morph to difference here. There we go. So this is our watertight 3D geometry. There it is. Let's put this on a little bit more of a jewelry color here. There we go. See, very nice. And we're sitting at 449,000 polygons, and that was on a 10,000 by 10,000 picture. That's plenty of detail for jewelry in my book.